Hey guys, looks like it's time for another video here. Just wanted to first off say thank you. Very happy with the reception I've gotten so far, and doing the videos on my Corvette. Of course, I'm pretty happy of my introduction video is slowly creeping up towards 1,000 views, and that's awesome. I mean, that's I wasn't even expecting anything close to that, and I know in the grand scheme of things that's, you know, kind of minor to, you know, compared to what a lot of channels out there have been getting. The second video of the inspection is also doing pretty well, so that's awesome. I've over tripled my subscribers, which is fantastic. I mean, granted, I had 3 to begin with, and I think I'm over like 10 right now, but everybody's got to start somewhere, you know. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple things, because the inspection video that I put together definitely ran a bit long, so I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter, but I think I had actually recorded well over an hour's worth of footage, and so I did my best to you know, edit it together, make it entertaining, but it was almost, you know, better part of a half hour. Unfortunately, there were a couple of bits of information that I found to be quite interesting, and I figure some of you Corvette guys out there might find to be interesting too. So what I'm going to do in this video real quick is I had a couple clips that didn't make it into the final edit for my my inspection video, and we're going to take a quick look at a couple of those, because I did, like I said, I did find them interesting. I think they just would have, they're a bit more technical, and I do think that they would have dragged on the video quite a bit longer than I actually wanted it to go. So the first clip here that I'm going to show you that didn't actually make it into the final edit was where Bob was actually kind of going over how the problems with the infamous Opti-Spark, the issues are, but he actually had some pretty good insight into what's causing the problem, and actually has a couple of the Opti-Spark ignition coils actually they're actually disassembled, and kind of shows where the problem really comes from. So let's take a look.
The distributor that I mentioned, that's sort of the big issue that these cars always have. This is what the distributor looks like here.
Oh, and that whole thing just goes on the front there.
This is on the front of the motor underneath the water pump. So a lot of times what will happen is the water pump will start to leak. It'll get on this, saturate it, and then they're done. Yeah. Or you'll just get...
So that vacuum line keeps that inside dry then?
That's supposed to, yeah. Yeah. Okay. A lot of... Sometimes, I mean, just by the nature of the design, it creates moisture inside. And that's another reason why they...
So you've been changed a few of them.
This one came out of a 93 Corvette that had 33,000 miles.
Wow. You
can see how how your terminals are all crusty.
Mm. Here's
your rotor. Rotor's not terrible, but not great either. And then when you get further in, you can see that a lot of the components are pretty rusty. You can see how it's been rusty underneath the cap there. This shield, I mean, is just complete rust.
Yeah.
And here's your optical sensor, which, I mean, when you spin this, you can feel that not only is the little bearing shot, but it's got some, you can hear the rust scraping a little bit.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of debris in there. You can see all the loose debris that's inside. I try not to flip it over because I like keeping that in there to show people. But it's just...
So more than likely somebody probably was cleaning their engine too thoroughly or something at that many miles. Huh?
Well, and this is just from the nature of the design. This one did not have, the early ones didn't have a vacuum port on it to clear it out. You can see on here there's not one, but on this later one there is.
Gotcha.
You can see your 2 ports right there.
They discovered the problem and tried to remedy it.
They tried to fix it, yeah.
Okay, well that's good to know.
So, but that's kind of how they get. So, and that's always the big Achilles heel on these things.
One of the next clips that didn't actually make it into the video was where Bob was actually kind of explaining a bit of the issues with the aftermarket versus OEM weather stripping, especially for the target top. So I just thought, you know, some of the stuff that he said made a lot of sense and had some interesting information for those of you that are having issues with your weather stripping. So let's check it out.
Your weather stripping's been replaced. You can see it doesn't fit real well.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to the factory original, which usually fits a little better.
Okay. Yeah, there's 2 packs of weather stripping in the back too, so I don't know if that's the guy gave them to me with him. He said he never got around to it. So
these usually deteriorate. Looks like somebody may have changed these already at some point.
Yeah, they do look pretty nice. Huh?
Yeah, they get dry cracked and chunks of them break off. Going back to the weather stripping, the aftermarket weather stripping is just inferior compared to the factory original stuff, but a lot of times you don't have any choice. The latex weather stripping is really nice. Latex is very expensive, and a lot of times you can't even find it anymore. It seems like a lot of the suppliers have discontinued it. So usually your only choices are the imported or the USA made, which lately there doesn't seem to be a big difference between the two.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the quality of the fit. It's just not there. Granted, this probably could go up a little bit further, but it still doesn't compare to the factory original stuff.
Yeah.
All right, the next clip is actually a little bit shorter, actually quite a bit shorter. Just a little something that I couldn't really find a good place to fit into the video that wasn't going to be kind of making it like a jarring edit. It is actually Bob kind of explaining the differences of the different types of TPMS sensors and what I actually have on the C4 that I have versus some of the later models and what they actually come with. So take a look. So that's our more current type TPMS.
Yeah, the kind like you would have on your car. It looks like a big hose clamp that goes around the whole diameter of the wheel, and then it's like it's probably about that long, maybe about that tall, and that's what that clamp is attached to. And that
So it could
sensor
just be
sits on
gone
there.
then too, huh?
Yeah.
If they change the wheels.
Because guys break them when they dismount the tire. They'll put it on the machine. They'll break the bead, and it'll break that sensor.
And
off.
you can't switch to like this. It
No.
won't recognize with the system.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. All right. Well,
So that's
yeah.
All right, and the next clip that I'm going to show you is actually a bit longer, and there's for good reason of why it didn't make it into the final cut of the inspection video, but I do think it is kind of informative. Of course, during that inspection video, you did see where he actually had noticed that my spare tire was not actually secured properly underneath the car, and I think in passing I actually had, you know, he made a comment about asking him if he could fix that for me before I go, because I didn't want to have any issues, and I just decided that the actual process of resecuring the spare tire was frankly kind of boring, but he did have a few explanations of, you know, how it works, the way it works and stuff like that. He actually showed me one that was actually you know, out of a car and that. So anyways, I just figured that would probably be you know, a nice little addition here to put in, because I mean, Bob was actually kind enough to help me out, and you know, he actually resecured the spare tire for me and didn't make any hay about it, and was actually quite informative in the process of explaining how to do it if I ever need to get the tire out. So anyways, take a look at that clip now. My white shirt.
This piece here that's attached to the sleeve. This is supposed to keep it from, you know, from turning.
Okay, yeah.
But what somebody did was they had this folded up right here, and that was sitting in this slot, so it was basically just sitting right here.
Okay.
So what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to hang like this, and then when you put the tire back up to its storage position, this thing is supposed to lock in another slot.
So it's
further up.
basically just kind of hanging on its own.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, this is how it should be.
Okay. Well, probably good to get that taken care of.
Yeah. What I'll do is let me fold this over just a little bit.
So is that rag factory, or is that whatever that is on there?
I don't believe that's factory. No. A
lot of times you'll see it in like it'll almost be like a vinyl bag or something along those lines.
I don't have any concern with that. Like, well, there's nothing really hot back there, is there? It
No.
looks like old combustible rag.
Yeah. Your gas tank is the only thing that's right here, and it's not gonna harm anything.
I got worse things to worry about if that's an issue.
That's right. Okay, so that goes up like that.
Yeah, well, I've got roadside assistance on my here, I can hold that on my American Family, so this thing's probably never coming out again.
So chances are I gotta open that up just a little bit more.
So is this the is that the drain for the fuel thing? Up the
Yeah,
top?
that's the overflow.
Okay.
That was a weird noise.
That doesn't sound like a Corvette.
That could have been the motorcycle guys next door. Let me do this. Let me bring it down. There we go.
It just pushes up, kind of
Yep.
locks in place.
Yeah,
and
it
then
kind of
you hold
locks in. A lot of times you gotta kind of look at it, or you gotta push and then push forward at the same time, so it does lock up in there. And then, just to make it easy on myself, I'll just run it by finger first.
All right.
And tighten it.
We just get it snug, right? We'll wrench it down. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be impact tight, but you want it tight enough so it's not bouncing around or anything like that.
Yeah, that would suck. I'm driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden my spare tire's hanging down or something like that.
Yeah, this usually just kind of sticks around right here. I mean, before it was directed into the spare tire tub.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it'd be better if it's just kind of hanging out.
Look like a little tail hanging out or something.
Right. So.
Alrighty, well, that's good. I appreciate that.
On the spare tire tub, you can see over here. There's another one right here. There's two slots. This one's a little damaged, but basically the little hook slides down and notches into here. That's when it's in its full upright position. A lot of times when you want to take the
miss that, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, because a lot of times what'll happen, it'll unhook and then this will kind of hang down, and this is supposed to catch it from going all the way down, but it doesn't. So, and this is broken anyway.
Yeah.
But
good to know.
But it's like a two-position piece, and you can. A lot of times you'll see it on those cars where the front of the tub will be hanging down. It'll be fully up in the back, but it'll be hanging down in the front,
yeah.
and that's because it's not hooked in the right spot. It's hanging down on the secondary slot.
Well, hopefully that's just going to stay in place.
Yeah.
We're not going to have to worry about it.
It shouldn't go anywhere now.
All right, so those were, I think, probably the clips that I would have liked to have included in the final edit of the inspection video, but unfortunately, just for fairly obvious reasons, I just didn't feel that I needed to drag it out longer to give very technical information that maybe, pretty much only some of you real dedicated Corvette guys out there and stuff would really even understand, whereas a casual viewer out there would probably be like, oh, this is getting kind of boring. I know it's probably asking a lot to make a half-hour video of a car getting looked at to begin with, but I know some of you appreciated it, and I sure enjoyed, having my car looked over, and I learned a lot about it. And in the process, again, I do want to thank Bob up at Corvette Connection in Milwaukee for doing that inspection for me, and I hope you actually got a chance to check out the video. But again, I just want to close out this video, keep it as short as possible, and we are going to be doing a lot more stuff coming up here in the near future. Weather's been beautiful, always have been a threat of rain recently, so unfortunately got to leave the top on just because I just don't know, I don't want to get caught in the rain, and I think it helps the acoustics a little bit trying to talk to the camera. But I got a few ideas for some fun. I got a few ideas for some fun videos coming up. I see a lot of people doing the 5 things I love, 5 things I hate about my car. Interestingly enough, I found a lot of secrets about this car. And by secrets, I mean like things if you didn't open up the manual as always, I thank you all for watching, and to my about a dozen or so subscribers out there, I thank you very much for your interaction. The comments on my last 2 videos have been great, and I've kind of loved talking about this stuff and learning, you know, different things from different people. So feel free to comment on this video, give me more advice, and give me your impressions on some of this other stuff that I just posted in this video. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, help me grow my channel, and hopefully we can have more and more fun as time goes on in my wonderful C4 Corvette here. So, but anyways, that's going to wrap it up. So I thank you very much for watching, and we'll definitely see you in the next one.